tonight? We're gonna wait till a few people join the chat. So let's get this out of the way so my boss don't call me upset with me because I said something stupid. There we go. I'm getting the word out that we're live. Hey Kim, how you doing tonight, sir? Hey Lee, good to see you, buddy. So, hey Lewis, how you doing tonight? It's alive. Me alive or you alive? Hey Jeffro. So, so I was just. Oh, hey Linda. Sorry, I was just talking to Mrs. Massey. Yeah, you guys know anything and everything in the SCV or OCR can happen at a moment's notice. So I was just trying to line up, see when I could get Al Massey on the show to talk about the Battle of Narcoosee. Uh, yeah, I did get his email, so I'll work with him. Uh, as you guys know, a lot of stuff can happen at a moment's notice. It's, just tighten up a few things. So, yeah, yeah, the Battle of Lusty's coming up. Our division commander and our division adjutant, Camp 1209, and various other camps will be at the Battle of Lusty. What date was that? Woo! So a lot of things have been going on this week for me. Camp stuff, helping out our commander, lieutenant commander, get some camp stuff squared away. So this past Saturday, we're talking about the Battle of Lusty here a little bit. What do you mean, Lee? Hey, Jim. Yeah, most of you that know me real well, I'm like a uh, I'm like a dog that's chasing a squirrel or see a squirrel or whatever. I get sidetracked a lot. So if you're PMing me, I'm gonna save it to the end because I'm easily sidetracked. Hey, Jimbo, and most of you know me, know I easily get sidetracked. That's right, Jim. David. Hey, David. Welcome to the show, sir. Quite a bit of stuff that happened this weekend. One thing that I did talk on the show previous. Hey, Al, I was just talking about you, sir. Uh, I was just talking to your wife. We are missing the State of the Union address. That's okay. I don't like. Hell, I love a state of address from our division commander or army commander or national commander. Just not the other Yahoo. So, get back to what I originally wanted to talk about. Uh, this weekend, Rick Roberts and various others, Kelly Crocker and all that. Kelly Crocker and Mark Bass and all that did a headstone dedication for Alfred Nichols of Company C, First Florida CSA. I was messaging Rick earlier. They had a great turnout. They had about 50 people there. They had about 50 people there for that dedication. I know Lee was there. Various other people that are probably in the chat. I'll watch this later. Were there. Looked like a great crowd. The pictures looked awesome. Let me see if I can expand this so you guys have an idea of what I was talking about. Yeah, it was up there in the northeast Florida around Tallahassee. There we go. Yeah, that was this past Saturday, the 4th, at New Hope up there around Jackson County, Florida. Uh, so looked like a great turnout. A lot of people were there. Uh, I know Alfred Nichols, his descendant was there uh, in attendance. He reached out to the camp up there about a headstone plaque, something of that nature, to do a headstone dedication up there. Looked like a great turnout. Pictures look great, everything. So, that happened this weekend. I know various other people. Kim Colors got out there and his camp got out there, moving around this weekend. Ready. Now, keep in mind, if you are in the Florida division, our division commander got some new T-shirts coming out. They look freaking awesome. Uh, so if you get a chance, you see if you're on the division, Florida Division members only page. Please check out their shirts. They look cool. So, what else happened this weekend? Uh, Jim Odell got busy a couple weeks ago. Dedicated 5 iron crosses, 2 cemeteries in one day. Then headed to the first Lee Jackson dinner. 2 events in one day. Could not have done it without our ladies. Holy crap! Uh, hey, Jason, welcome to the show. If you don't know Jason, that's our commander in chief. Jason, hope this is okay. So I'm going to put it on the show. If you don't know what he's talking about, look around the Confederation. That's on our subsidiary. We're a subsidiary of them. It's called SCV Chat. They're on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can get a state of address right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And that will be the next one will be February the 16th. So that's cool. That way you get to know what's the actual organization's doing as a whole. Uh, right from the horse's mouth in commander's comments. So, thanks for sharing that, Jason. Appreciate it, sir. Exactly, Jason. You did hit a good topic. Uh, now, I found this out. If you had already pre-registered for the national reunion at last year's reunion, please, if you have a receipt or a date, please include that with the paperwork you send in to the Arkansas camp for this year's reunion, so you don't pay twice. Uh, our division lieutenant commander David King found that out because me and a lot of you had that question. So when you send your stuff in for the national reunion in Arkansas, please include a receipt or something with that so they could track down that you had already prepaid. Nice one, Linda. Yeah, exactly. Come here, watch this show. You know, this is where you want to be. You want to be around brothers and sisters and not watching that Looney Tune on the TV. Whatever he's talking about, if he gets confused or we reads a teleprompter because somebody else is telling him what to say. But I'm not political. That's why I got this. So Jason Boshears and Jimmy Hill and Calvin, don't call me later. So, with that being said, yeah, a lot of cool events happened this weekend in the state of Florida. That was the biggest one. If you missed it, I'm sorry about that. I missed it too. I went and helped out a fellow brother with the Arcadia camp. That's also the commander for the American Legion in Arcadia. They were doing a fundraiser this weekend because they're rebuilding their building after they got flooded because of the hurricane. I toured inside. They've come a long way. They just insulated the building. This time they're doing a foam insulation. It looked pretty cool. You know, like I said, this is my opinion. They went with a spray foam in between the 2x4s for the walls. So their next step is drywall and a few other odds and ends. So that's pretty cool. Uh, yeah, I'm waiting to get feedback from them to see how they did with their fundraiser. It was a fun time. Various SCV members in the Arcadia camp were there. Uh, yeah, of course, Leon Arthur was there and various others with his camp was there. I was there. Jeff Cotton from the early camp came down. So it was a fun time hanging out with people within the American Legion, VFW, other veteran organizations, and talk with them. There was one guy there that did have his vest on with the Confederate flag, so that kind of drew our attention. That's why we're here to represent and wear our colors with pride. For those that are in the Metcalf, you know what I'm talking about, right, brothers? So With that, I was doing some research the past couple of days. Some camp members was telling me, some of the founding members of the Lieutenant Boggess camp was telling me about an old book. Let me get to it. I shared it on the division only members only page today. It was a pretty cool find. It's based off a book, a veteran of 4 wars, based on Lieutenant Boggess with the Cavalry. Woo! Excuse me for that. Oh, you heard it right from the horse's mouth. This is breaking news. Uh, an announcement went out on the Telegraph today about the SCV National Intention lawsuit to protect the memorial at Arlington Cemetery. So if you're a full member of the SCV, you got that email. Uh, Jason, are you going to be able to look around the Confederation Thursday to talk about that email? Oh, man, you what? Since this is breaking news, that CV is available to come on and talk about this breaking news. Okay. Jason, I sent you an invite if you wanted to pop on and talk about it, but if you're going to look around, save it for Commander's comments on the 16th. Okay, Jason, not a problem, sir. I just figure I invite you. It's no big deal. So, get back to what I was talking about. If you guys want to take a look at this, I just put it out in the chat. That's the link for it. Man, that's the thing about being the only person, you know. A veteran of 4 wars, the autobiography of FMC Boggess, a record of pioneer life and adventures here for unwritten history of the Florida Seminole Indian War, Chapter 4, page 19 to 23 is what I just shared with you. I am still looking for this book. I'm not going to rest until I get a copy and present it to you guys. From what I get from the founding members of the Boggess camp, you know who you are. Uh, the book came out many, at least over 20, 30 years ago, maybe more. So it'd be kind of hard to find. So for you guys that love books, if you can find this book, please let me know. I'm looking for this book. As you guys know, I'm with the Lieutenant Boggess camp down in Collier County, Florida. With that, uh, with that, he is buried in DeSoto County. I've been to his grave. I've been to his sister's grave that got scalped by Indians. I'm looking for that story, how she got scalped. Probably wrong place, wrong time type thing. Like uh, multiple of our ancestors. As we as my research shows about Lieutenant Boggess, the Boggess family started in DeSoto County, then eventually ended up in Everglades City. He was a member of the Cow Cavalry in Florida. If you don't know what the Cow Cavalry is, I'm sorry. But what they did, they fought the Union. They were kind of like a ragtag militia group because the Union was coming into Fort Myers, St. Augustine, and there's another port up in the Panhandle. I can't remember the name of it. So the Union would come in these through these ports, go out into Florida, and try to get cattle and to ship them back to the north. Well, as we all know, Florida was a Confederate state. Uh, you know, at the time, Florida wasn't really populated like it is today. Big changes within the last since the 1900s uh, of for Florida. So with that, uh, Lieutenant Boggess started in Wauchula area, then eventually moved his family down into Everglades, which is now called present day Everglades City. So it's cool reading about him, Joe Knight, the Roberts family out of Immokalee, Captain Henry. These were all players in the Cow Cavalry. And what they did, they got tired of the Union coming in stealing their cattle, so they formed what was called the Cow Cavalry. With that, their mission was to stop the Union from stealing the cattle from locals like me, some of you guys and girls in the chat, to be shipped to the north, where our family members, our ancestors in the Confederacy needed that meat. One of the players, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Massey, was his camp's namesake, Jacob Summerlin. Uh, these were all cattlemen. They just had enough of enough, so they formed a special unit called the Cow Cavalry to fight the Union, try to stop them from stealing cattle and shipping them up north because of the blockade. Yeah, various different types of blockade runners. There was one that just went up not too far from my house. Blockade runner went out of Gamble's mansion, went down to Cuba to get supplies and come back. So that's a little bit of local history. So we're going to focus on tonight on Lieutenant Boggess. Uh, this remember, I'm not going in order. The chapters. This is chapter 4, page 19 to 23. When the author landed in Fort Brooke, the county had a few settlers, and it was impossible to get employment. See, at that time, Florida wasn't big. A lot of people had a hard time getting jobs. That must have been a relative of his, David. I got to look into that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, David. He must be a relative of his. Of Company A of the 26th Tennessee Infantry, moving up. It was a lieutenant colonel by the end of the war. Cool. Thanks for sharing that, David. So you got to keep in mind on this chapter, it talks about at first the Seminole War. He was having a hard time finding a work. So he was got with a family to help them with their farm and all that. Seminole War broke out. You guys can read that Osha I'll share the link on Look Around Florida's Facebook page. It's already in the chat on YouTube and Facebook, so you guys can get a gander of that. You know, Boggess, veteran of 4 wars. uh, we know him as a member of the Cavalry, First and Second Seminole War. We know that of him. We knew Boggess was married in 1852. His wife died, and he had one son, Captain Thornsey Boggess. He married and had 4 children. Mr. Boggess visited his mother in Mobile, Mobile, after a long absence. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, Jason, have fun. If there's any breaking news, you got a link you could join, and any breaking news from that Zoom call. General Church, with thousands of regulars, was attacked at the Willalachi River, where he had made breastworks of his wagons. Yeah, it's very cool reading about this. Yeah, David. Yeah, I have an ancestor. Uh, the original unit that he joined was the Virginia State Line Cavalry, and that was on the first muster sheet I found, and I've seen where he ended up in another, virtually in a different Virginia Cavalry unit. So, yeah, if you want to learn more about Boggess, check him out. I'm gonna do some better research. You know, Jacob Summerlin, maybe when Al Massey's able to come on. Uh, you know, he did want to do a test run, so I sent Al Massey an invite to the chat. All he has to do is click on that. If he does it through a phone, it's going to give him some stuff that permissions, and he'll be able to join the chat through that. Al, I just sent it to you through Facebook. So just click on that link if you want to do a test run. It gets you set up for, I think Sandy said next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, maybe when Al Massey comes on to talk about his reenactment at the end of March, we could get him to talk about Jacob Summerlin, where he started cattle up around Lake Kissimmee area, and he had cattle in my area too, because we have a road here called Summerlin Road, in here in Lee County, where he did have cattle, and part of the cattle drive, and he loaded up cattle in Ponderosa and sent it down to Cuba. So, see if he joins, and maybe we get a little history lesson about Jacob Sumlin. So, if you wanted to check out my camp page, that's Lieutenant Francis Calvin Morgan Boggess Camp 2150 Facebook page. Anytime I hear anything new about the Boggess family, the history in that, I do post it there, and I also share it on Look Around Florida Facebook page. So let me. With that, I do want to give a shout out to where is it? I had it. I do want to put this out there. As you guys can see in the top left corner, that's our Florida Division logo. I am looking for a logo for this show. If you know somebody that's kind of an artist or whatever that can tie Florida, what we do here, getting in the news and events of what's going on in Florida, and somebody's a little creative, I'm looking for a logo. I would appreciate the help. I'm not that good when it comes to logos. I can do certain things. Like this is a green screen behind me that I can share pictures. I'd love to put behind me or Look Around Florida's logo and use it when I'm trying to promote the show. So if you know somebody, feel free to post it on Look Around Southwest Florida. Yeah, if you're interested in doing that for me, please post that on our Facebook page. If anybody's able to look at our Facebook page, Look Around Southwest Florida, see if you can see the. I had a community tab on it. Uh, well, say his name twice, Jeffro. He might join the chat. uh, well, I was actually talking with Rick Roberts about an idea I had for the show. He said to put it out to you guys and see if I get anybody interested. So if you do talk to Calvin next time, anybody, ask him. He's a big contributor of this show. Uh, keep in mind, guys, girls, the Vision Reunion's coming up. It's going to be here before you know it. Get your registration in. I got mine in. I sent it Friday in the mail, right to our division commander. So he probably got it. Don't know if he received it yet or not. I was kind of surprised. One thing I got in the mail, and I'll be honest with all you brothers and sisters, it's been a while for me since I walked into a church. Uh, I like listening to Christian music. It helps me keep my anger in check instead of choking people at work or whatever I'm doing. So, one of my properties is a church out in Golden Gate. Uh, I got to talk with the children's pastor and another pastor there, so they invited me to their Sunday service back in Easter. And I got to thinking about it and everything. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go. So I went this Saturday. It's a small church, small congregation, but I felt welcome. As soon as I walked in the door, the main pastor and the youth pastor, a whole bunch of other people came up, welcoming me, introducing themselves to me, and that. So it made me feel good. You know what I mean? It's like going to a division reunion or a national reunion, and everybody sees you on this show, or haven't seen you in quite some time. Come up to you, give you a big hug. Everything. A lot of crazy stuff happens at reunions. I'm sure a lot of people here in the chat can testify to that. So if you're an artist, please on our Facebook page, if you come up with one, in there is are is my email address. Uh, so I know a lot of people are asking for donations right now. I'm not. I'm set. But if you would like to donate to multiple different Jeffro, do you have that link for or anybody in the Florida division, Kim or Jim, have that link to for people to donate to the division on various different projects, stuff like that? I'm trying to find it. I had man, guys, you got to check out our division Facebook page. I mean, our division website. Yeah, you get up to date news here from our division commander, our division adjutant, our lieutenant commanders, David King, uh, Roy Hudson, including the OCR. When they send me stuff, they want to get the word out for their programs and what's going on. You know, they send it here besides posting it. So please check out the Florida Division website. You can go there and I'm looking for that, Jeffro. Yeah, on this website, if you click on other links, Florida Division SCV Facebook page, various different groups, Florida Division of the Order of the Confederate Rose, National, uh, the museum website, the museum Facebook page, other Confederate Memorial Day. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm on, Jeffro. Thank you for sharing that, sir. So if you're moving to Florida, you want to know if there's a camp close to you, please reach out to our division adjutant, Rick Roberts. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. So you're able to message him on if you're moving to Florida and you want to get in touch with a camp. So a lot of cool things are on this website about the Florida division. Uh, our webmaster and our division commander tries to keep the website up to date. Uh, wait, nope. Especially our 53rd annual division reunion. Woohoo! I am looking fun to this. We are the registration packet is out, so you can go right here, right to this website. Scroll all the way down to the bottom left that says Florida Division SCV upcoming events. Click on the 53rd annual division reunion. Uh, I can't say if it's open to all SCV members. It is open to all Florida SCV members. And the Order of the Confederate Rose, they have their meeting there too. So if you have a wife, you got a spouse that loves to go to reenactments, going to SCV events, bring her with you. Get her in touch with David King's wife, Kathy King, uh, Linda Hudson, that's in the chat, various other ladies of the Order of the Confederate Rose. Becky Kramer is most likely going to be there, so that they could help your wife or your spouse or your significant other get them squared away on getting them into the Order of the Confederate Rose. It's a great bunch of ladies. They're there to support us. You know, with every good man, there's a good woman behind them. keep that in mind. Jeffro wanted to put this out at the Florida Division Reunion. This year, there's going to be a kilt party. I know what he's talking about because this is going to be at the hotel in Chiefland. So we're trying to get as much people there so we have a good turnout and a good before the reunion and after the reunion party celebration that we all got together type thing. Jim Odell was there, Talisa. Hope to see Linda and Roy come join us. The hell's that popping up? So Jeffro put it out there for a kilt party that Friday night at the hotel in Chiefland. So if you have a kilt like I do, like Leon Arthur and Jeffro, please wear it. Yes, Linda, he does have it, but I have not seen him in it. So Jeffro, next time you're in your kilt, take a picture and post it because I think Linda wants to see it. Seeing is believing. uh, so kilt party Friday night at the division reunion. Like I said, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up with the division. So get your registration in. It's going to be a blast. Reserve your hotel in Chiefland. We're trying to get it. We're trying to fill that hotel with everybody in the Florida division. It's going to be fun. So with that, hope everybody last week's show was kind of but I'm trying to get Al Massey set up. So Al, Sandy, if you hear me, click on that link I sent you. I'll send it to Sandy also. Kind of do a testament. Jeffro put his foot in his mouth. So, Jeffro, I think you opened up an A bomb on that one, buddy. Hide. Get the disclaimer out of there. So, my brothers and sisters, I know we're going through a tough time, so keep your thoughts and prayers for all you out there. I hope to see all you soon. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Uh, quite a bit of cool things going on. Hey, Jeffro, since I got you in the chat, did the flag go back up in Tampa this past weekend? So we have if you're in the Florida Mechanized Cavalry, please get in touch with Roy Hudson or David King if they do not have your email. A lot of cool things. Roy Hudson's got a ride coming up very soon. We have a meetup at the Jeffro or Roy. Is that the 18th? They're doing that meetup at White Springs. I want to say yes. The Florida, Georgia are doing a meetup at the. Probably. It's been a long, crazy day, Linda. Are doing a meetup at the flag site in White Springs. So, Okay, so the flag in Tampa's still down. They're still doing repairs on it, guys. Whoop. There you go, guys. I know some of you have been asking about when's the flag coming back to Tampa. You just heard it from the horse's mouth. It is ongoing repairs, so thanks, Linda, on that. It is the 18th for the meetup at White Springs. If you're in the Florida, Georgia Mechanized Cavalry. So looks like it'll be a fun time. My camp will be involved with the Everglades Seafood Festival that weekend. So I'm going to try to go live to show the members of the camp so you guys can see all the members and their spouses that are involved with the seafood festival. It's going to be a great time. Looks like it's going to be some good lineup and some good singers for the event. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. We got quite a bit of people from the camp that are going to be there with their wives. So if you're in the area, if you live in Miami, on the other coast, you're looking for something that do, come to Everglades City. Come to the Seafood Festival. Support our camp. Would love to see you. Well, we may put you to work, but don't let that scare you. Come and enjoy it. We love to see you. If you come by the booth, tell the guys you heard about them on Look Around Florida. They'll love to hear it. I know I'll be there. I'll be there Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So come and hang out with us, have fun. It's going to be a great time at the Everglades Seafood Festival in Everglades City, Florida. Can't get no more south without hitting the 10,000 islands. So, if our camp member, if you come down, you're an SCV member, you want to see some Confederate graves, and if our members have a second, they'd be happy to show you a couple that are right there in Everglades City. So come join us, say hi, and everything. Yeah, next Tuesday, our show. I was invited to a camp meeting on the 14th, so I'll be going live next week on the 15th. So keep that in mind if you join the show. Looking for me. Uh, Al and Sandy, if you guys can join next Wednesday, I know you guys said you had a camp meeting next Wednesday. That would be perfect. So I know Sandy and Al are busy. So I'm gonna set that up this weekend with the link. Sandy and Al, I'll email you the link. I normally get set up about 7 p.m. We can do a test run, get your mic squared away, get everything squared away before we go live at 8. So if that works out for you, please let me know. You can shoot me a message on Facebook, whatever. For next Wednesday. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I love all of you. Looking forward to more events coming up. So if you have an event coming up, please message me. If you go to our Facebook page, Look Around Southwest Florida, I have an email there. Click on that and feel free to email me to get the word out about your event. So would love to have you on. If you want to come on and talk about your event, or you just want to come on and talk about your ancestor, would appreciate it. Anybody in the Florida division, or or the Army of Tennessee is more welcome to come on to talk about their ancestor. Uh, so, with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. And which one? I think this one. I love all you. Stay Southern, my friends.
When my mother was in college, she danced with Confederate veterans. To me, it wasn't that far away. My father knew this. My mother knew this. Almost 50 years ago, I joined the Sons of Confederate Veterans. In those days, we weren't concerned about saving monuments or any of those things. That wasn't necessary. In fact, none of us had any remote idea that it would ever come up, or we would have done something then. We can't just sit there and react. We have to be proactive.
The Sons of Confederate Veterans is the direct heir of the United Confederate Veterans and the oldest hereditary organization for male descendants of Confederate soldiers. Organized at Richmond, Virginia in 1896, the SCV continues to serve as a historical, patriotic, and non-political organization dedicated to ensuring that a true history of the 1861 to 1865 period is preserved. Membership in the SCV is open to all male descendants of any veteran who served honorably in the Confederate Armed Forces.
It is my birthright. My ancestors fought and bled and died. Because of their sacrifice, it gives me not only the eligibility to join, but it's my duty to join the organization. Their blood flows through my veins. Their struggles and triumphs are what made my family what it was, and in a sense made me who I am today. We're to defend the Confederate soldier's good name, that he fought for a noble cause, that he fought for his home, his wife, his children, and his descendants. We're to guard his history, which to me, it's the monuments, it's the headstones, as well as the actual written history of what happened during that war.
The citizen soldiers who fought for the Confederacy personified the best qualities of America. The preservation of liberty and freedom was the motivating factor in the South's decision to fight the Second American Revolution. The tenacity with which the Confederate soldiers fought underscored their belief in the rights guaranteed by the Constitution. These attributes are the underpinning of our democratic society and represent the foundation on which this nation was built. Today, the Sons of Confederate Veterans is preserving the history and legacy of these heroes, so future generations can understand the motives that gave life to the Southern cause.
We need to draw the line in the sand right now. These are our Confederate monuments. These are our Southern heroes, and you're not going to take them down. Right now, if we do not protect our heritage and present it as it truly was, it's going to be lost forever.
The memory and reputation of the Confederate soldier, as well as the motives for his suffering and sacrifice, are being purposely distorted in an attempt to alter history. And unless the descendants of Southern soldiers resist those efforts, a unique part of our nation's cultural heritage will cease to exist.
My commitment to the SCV is a commitment to our heritage, our cause. Not in a violent way, nor an aggressive way. Simply in the way we live. Live what you believe. But in your defense, know in what you're defending. And defend it truthfully.
If you were interested in perpetuating the ideals that motivated your Confederate ancestor, the SCV needs you. Simply visit www.scv.org today. Our genealogists are ready to help you trace your Confederate heritage.
We're not just some history club. We are a fraternal organization who is essentially the last guardians whose duty it is to defend American and Southern history.
All right, guys, please check out our Facebook page. Click the like button. I just updated it with some cool events coming up. So I love all you. Stay Southern, my friends. Have a good night.